Hello everyone, you're welcome to this class. So in this class we want to learn bearing. We look at the meaning of bearing, we look at types of bearing that we have and how we can convert from one type to the other. Then we also look at what we call back bearing. So we start with what bearing is. The meaning of bearing. Bearing gives direction between 2 points in terms of degrees, in terms of angles in degrees. This you give the direction of point A to point B in terms of what is the bearing of point A to point B or from point B in terms of what degree, in terms of angles in degrees. So that is what bearing is. Sailors, pilots, and surveyors, they use bearing to get direction of look or to get direction of location of what places. Now, having known that, so bearing has two types. So bearing has two types. So we have bearing. There are two types of bearing. We have compass bearing, and we have 3-digit bearing. I will explain both. So when it comes to compass bearing, there are four major compass direction, which we call them 4 cardinal points. So, and I'll use this to explain it. So when we talk about compass bearing, under compass bearing, so we have 4 major direction of compass bearing, and I will use this diagram to explain it. We have the north, we have the south, we have the west, and we also have the east. So these are the 4 major compass direction, and they are called 4 cardinal points. 4 cardinal points. There are 4 cardinal points. So north, south, west, and east. Now, apart from this, we also have minor. These are the major cardinal points. And we also have what we call minor. There are 4 minor cardinal points as well. 4 minor cardinal points, right? So, and the 4 minor cardinal points are in between the north, east, south, and west. So this from here to this place, this is the minor. This gives 45. Since this is 90 degrees, this is also what 45 degrees. So this is what we call northeast. Northeast. And here will be what? Southeast. While this will be what? Southwest. And this will be what? West. You notice something, that I started from the north towards the east. I started from the south towards the east. Started from the south towards the west. I did not say west south, east south, or east north, or west north. So that will bring us to this rule under compass bearing. We're going to be following these 2 rules. The first one is that you either start from the north pole or south. You cannot start from the east, not the west. So start from the north, move towards the east, or move towards the west, or start from the south, move towards the east or towards the west. That's the first thing. 2, you can move clockwise or anti-clockwise under compass bearing, or anti-clockwise. So clockwise is telling us that we can move the way the clock moves. So that is, you start from, if you have clock here, it moves from here to this place. That is clockwise. That is north. That's the reason we have northeast. Then you can also move anti-clockwise from the north towards the west. That is what we have. This is anti, this is what? Clockwise. Hope I'm with you. So that's the reason why we have northwest, northeast. This is anti-clockwise. Why this is what? Clockwise. So southeast is clockwise, southwest is what? Anti-clockwise. So that is that on this. So the next stage is for us to now see how we can sketch compass bearing. If the question asks you to sketch south 53° east, you want to sketch this, and north 25° west, you want to sketch this too. So what we're going to do is this. For this first one, we have this. This, your four cardinal points: north, south, west, and what? East. So it means we are starting from the south, then we're going to measure 53 degrees towards what? East. So which means the line will be somewhere here. So in this case, we are just sketching. We are not trying to get the accurate angles, right? So what we're going to do, since from here to here is 90 degree, so we look at it. So if this is half, so 53 to somewhere here, so we can just guess this is what? 53 degrees. So this will be 53 degrees. That is south. 53 degree what? East. That's how to sketch it. You have sketched it. Then for the second one, you have this, right? So this is the north, this is the east, this is the west, and this is the south. So we are moving towards the west. So from the north pole towards the what? 25 degrees towards. So 25 degrees will not be up to half of this. So it will go this way. So that is 25 degrees west. I hope this is clear. So this is what we call how to sketch compass bearing. So we now look at 3-digit bearing or 3 figures bearing. Before we look at 3-digit bearing, it's possible you are given this kind of question. Have this, and you now have this place. You have it to be 48 degrees. They now ask you to write out the compass bearing of this diagram. Want to write out the compass bearing of the diagram. So the first thing you need to do is to label the north, the south, this is the east, and this is the west. So in that case, this line falls between south east. So it means answer will be what? South east. So it now remains the degree that will be here. So don't forget, we start from the south, move toward what? The east. So which means you want looking for this angle, not this angle here. So we need to calculate what will this angle be. Since this is 48, so and from here to here is 90. That will be 90 minus what? 48 degrees. That gives what? 42 degrees. So this means this will be 42 degrees, and that means south 42 degree what? East. That will be give us our what? Our answer. I believe this is clear. Now the next stage is now to look at 3-digit bearing. 3-digit bearing. All right, 3-figure bearing or 3-digit bearing, still the same thing. So under this, it has some rules as well too. The first thing is that the first point here under 3-figure bearing is that you always start from the nuts. From what? From the nuts. Not only. You start from the nuts and move clockwise. You cannot move anti-clockwise, and you cannot start from the south, unlike that of compass bearing. So which means we always start from the north and then we move what? Clockwise. That's the first thing. Then the second one is that the digits must be 3, as the name implies. But if what you have is less than 3 digits, so you must add 0 before the digit. For example, we have 25 degrees. So in 3D bearing, this will be wrong. So the first thing you need to do is to what? Put 0 behind before the 25. That gives you what? 025 degrees. So that is that on this. It's possible you have this in the question. You have this. You have something like this. And nothing is written here. You then have, let's say you have 39 degrees here. So they now ask you, write out the 3-digit bearing of this figure. So what are you going to do? Don't forget, under 3-digit bearing, we start from where? We always start from the north and move what? Clockwise. So what we are going to do, we start from the north and move clockwise to this line. So that is the 3D bearing we're looking for. So we start from the north and move what? Clockwise. Mind you, from here to here is 90. to this place is what? 180. To this place what? 270. To this place what? 360. So if we should cut out this from 270, we'll get the remaining angles. That will be 270 degrees minus 39 degrees, right? That gives 3. That is 231. So which means the 3-digit bearing of this is 231 degrees. And this one, the compass bearing of this will also be, you look for this angle. We look for this angle, that is subtract 231, 180 from 231, because from here to here is 180. We just remove this one, it will remain this angle. So that will be from 180, that will be 7, that's 5, that's 57. That will be south west, south 57 degree west. So I've used this to see how you can navigate from between compass bearing and the 3-digit bearing. I hope this is clear. So the next stage is, I will now explain this one in details, how we can change compass bearing to 3-digit bearing and 3-digit bearing back to what? Compass bearing, before we look at a back bearing. Now let's look at this example. So change the following to 3-digit bearing. So we want to change this to 3 digits. As you can see, this is compass bearing. This is compass bearing. So the first thing you need to do is to sketch. You sketch this before you can convert it. So in sketching this, I'm going to have this. We have this. This is the north, and this is the what? The east. 53 degrees east. This is what? 53 degree east. We have sketched this. So the next stage is changing this one to 3-digit bearing. We start from the north. Don't forget, we start from the north and move clockwise. So moving clockwise to the line, to this arrow line, to this line, still gives us what? 53. So but in writing it, it's not going to be 53 degrees. So which means north 53 degrees east will be equals to, so we add 0 before 53, that will be 53 degree. So this will be the answer. So that's how we solve this. Then coming to the second one, we also sketch this. We sketch it, right? Southwest. This is the south, this is the west. So 28 degrees, this 28 degrees, right? South 28 degree, south 20 degrees towards the west. So this is it. So converting this to 3-digit, we start from the north as well and move clockwise. We move from here, right, to this place. So now from here to here is 180 and this is 28. That means 180 degrees plus 28 degrees. We have this together. This is 8, this is 10, and this is 2. So that means 208. Meaning that south 28 degree west equals 208 what? Degrees. So that's how we move. We move from compass bearing to 3-digit bearing. So if we want to go back, we want to convert this 3 digits to compass bearing. So let me quickly explain that. In this, we are asked to write the following as compass bearing. So how do we do that? So you can see the question is on 3-digit bearing, right? So you can see that's 3 digits, 3 digits. So the first thing you need to do is to sketch it first. After sketching it, that's when you know what the next thing to do. So let's sketch this. So the first one, we sketch it. We have this. So we start from the north. Don't forget, when you are sketching 3D bearing, you start from the north and move clockwise. This is 90. Let's say this is 128. We write it, right? So this is 128 degrees. Good. So this is 128 degrees. But this arrow line falls between south and what? East, which means our answer 128 degrees will be equal to south east. Then it now remains this. So south towards the east. So which means we are calculating this angle here. And from here to this place is 180. And we've known from here to be what? 128. That will be 180 degrees minus 128 degrees. So we subtract, this will be 2, and this gives what? 52. That gives what? 52 degrees. That means the answer will be what? 52 degree what? East. Then the second one, the same thing. We do the same thing with sketch as well. Let's sketch it. We have the north. Then that's 201. From here, 90, 180, 201. So everything is 201 degrees. So that means 201 degrees equals to, it's first under south and the what? West. So answer is between south and the west. So it remains this angle. So, and the angle we are looking for here in this case will be south towards the west, not this one. It will be this angle here, this one. So, and from here to here is 180, and from here to here is 201. That will be what? 201 degrees minus 180 degrees. So that gives 1. So this is what? 2. So which means this will be what? 21 degrees. That is south, 21 degree what? West. So that will be the what? The answer. This. So as you can see, we have changed 3-digit bearing to compass bearing, and at the same time we've changed compass bearing to 3-digit bearing. So the last one we're going to look in this video is what we call back bearing. You need to understand one concept. So there's a shortcut to it, but let's understand the basis first. So back bearing, let me use example. If the bearing of A from B is 48 degrees, what is the bearing of B from A? So the first statement, if the bearing of A from B is 48 degrees, that is, A is coming from where? From B. That is, our starting point will be what? B. So if the point B is this, on point B, this is point B. On point B, we put your cardinal point on it. It's 48 degrees. Sorry, let me bring it down. This is point B. Put your 4 cardinal point on it. This is point B. It's 48 degrees. This is 48 degrees. 48 degrees. A from B. So with this point is now point A. This is point A. This is point A. So the bearing of A from B is 40. That is, A coming from B moves 48 degrees before facing what? Before facing A. B, you have to turn 48 degrees before you can face point B. That's what this means. Now the question now is, what is the bearing of B from A? That is, if you are coming from A, how many degrees will you turn before you can face point B? So that is, you start from the north as well and move to the line that leads towards to B. So which we are calculating this. We are calculating this angle. Right. So since we are calculating this angle, so you've learned angles between line, where you learn about alternate angles. So this angle, this line and this line, they are parallel lines. They can never meet. So this is a transversal crossing the two parallel lines. So in this case, this angle here is the same thing as this angle. That is alternate angle. Alternate angles. So alternate angles, right? So this is what? 0.48 degrees. So, and the angle we are calculating is from here to this place, and from here to this place is 180. Then we had this. So 180 plus what? 48 what? Degrees. that gives what? 8, 2, 2. So that means the bearing of B from A is 228 what? Degrees. Now, the shortcut to this, rather than going through all this stress of sketching, from the question, if it is back bending is that you are starting from A from B, then they're asking you B from A. They are reversing the question. So if you now look at this, the degree itself, the bearing. So if this is less than 180 degrees, what you are going to do to get the back bend is add 180 to it. Even if what you have here is 179, you add 180 to it to get the back bearing of it. So that is why we had it here. But if it is more than 180, like if it is 181, you subtract 180 from it, the answer will be 001 degrees. I hope I'm making sense. So let's look at example that will involve this one to be greater than 180. In this one, so what we're going to do is this. The bearing of A from B is 207. You can see 207 degrees is more than 180. So the rule is that 200, and the shortcut is subtract 180 from it. If what you are dealing with is back bearing, just subtract 180 from that with 7. This will be 2. The answer will be what? 027 degrees. So now let's now sketch it and see if we are still going to get this answer or not. So let's have it. So A from B, let's be starting from B, 207. Let's say B is here. This is point B. So we start from the north and move clockwise. 180, 207. Let's say 207 is this. So we move to A. This is A, right? Now, so this is point A, and we want to look for find the bearing of B from A. From A, that is, you are looking for this angle. This, how many degrees will you turn before you can face B? So since this one is 207 degrees, and this angle here and this angle here, they are also the same thing. And from here to here is 207. From here to here is 180. When you subtract 207 from 180 from it, you get what? 27, which is this one, 27 degrees. 27 degrees. So that means if this is 27, that means the bearing of B from A is 27 degrees. You notice that I wrote 0 at the back. So if you write 27 degrees, you might be penalized. So half mark or 1 mark can be deducted from your answer. So that is back bearing. I believe this is clear. You can see we have the same answer here. So that is that on this video. We stop here. So at the same time, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not, and share the video with your friends and give me thumb up. If you have any questions, you can write it in the comment section. I will attend to your question. If you have any question relating to bearing or any topics in mathematics, just put the question in the comment section. I will get them solved, then I will post it on the channel, inshallah. All right, so bye.